All right. We are live on Facebook.
And live.
Live. Not pretend live.
For real live.
So, welcome everybody to I am so loud in my headphones right now.
You're always loud.
Well.
A way to kick it off. He is the loudest getter-upper in the middle of the night, the loudest breather.
Did you say getter-upper?
Yes.
Miss...
Silent at night, yeah.
Commentary.
Doesn't wake you up in the middle of the night.
Language, yeah. No. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, so welcome to the Hooligan and the Harridan podcast, number 2. I said it right this time, didn't I?
You did.
I butchered it on episode 1, which comes out tomorrow, by the way.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, I am your co-host, Oakes-Joudy, and I'm joined by my lovely Harridan wife.
Yes.
Again, your idea, not mine.
Totally my pick. If you can't poke fun at yourself in your life, then what are you doing? Yes, I am Anne-Marie Oakes-Joudy, and we are co-hosting this new little spin-off podcast.
Right. From
your original Cornerstone of America podcast.
I know. I was pleasantly surprised, but not really, at how much this one had kind of taken off, to the point where I had one person who was like, "Hey, when are you going to put out more interviews? Like, we love Anna."
Oh, yeah.
You want to know who it was?
My client.
Yeah.
Kit. She's like, cool. I've heard her talk story, before. Yeah. How about you put on more interesting stuff?
I don't want to hear my coach
I
talk
don't
shit.
care. I already hear her talk every time you check in.
All right. So today's topic, we are going to talk about the... Last episode was biggest arguments you've had with your spouse
or significant other. And this one is the dumbest fights you've had with your significant other.
Right. So
I have 8 answers that are all pretty good. One of them was a dual answer. It was the answer to both questions. And then you have like 4, I think.
Right. I had, so for dumbest argument, one was, we can kind of kick off.
Let's do it.
Well, I was going to a little bit. Actually, let's recap what we talked about before. We talked about biggest arguments, right?
Right. And these could also be dumb, but they're usually not. They're usually a recurring argument, something that that causes strife in your partnership with your person.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we got, what was it? Some was kitchen remodel, fighting each other as opposed to working together to attack the problem.
Yeah. Wasn't it guns one of them?
No.
That's this one.
That's this one.
That's this one. That's right.
And then, I had, and then the proper purpose and use of a thermostat. A couple other really funny ones. What did we say ours was? Did we say ours was what our biggest fight was?
No. I said that would be its own episode.
A whole different episode. Yeah. Which I don't even know if I want to do it. So.
Yeah, that'll be.
Not because I want to be like secretive. It's just, I don't know. It's a can of worms.
It's, I would say it's its own like season.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I say we go back and forth, and you want to start this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go with.
And if you're watching this live on Facebook, you can drop your dumbest fights with your significant other.
I should get them in
and
the
that doesn't have
here.
to be your current significant other. It could be somebody in the past, and it could be like a really stupid fight, and they won't know. So.
Well, let's kind of recap this week first.
Okay.
All right. So.
It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
Wednesday, November 3rd.
Right. And we've been back from California for about a week and a half now.
2 weeks tomorrow.
Is it? Mm-hmm. And yeah, so.
And we did Halloween, our first Halloween.
You're kind of back in a routine now?
Yeah. But now it's getting into like, there's a lot more coming up this next.
Right.
Like I've gotten a couple more clients at Barbell Logic, and so my client load is up a little bit, which is good. I'm happy for that. I chose that. And then I start my strength class at SBG next Tuesday. So that means I will be in the gym twice a week for coaching versus just training. I'm excited for that, though. It's been a long time since I've taught a class. It's been a year since I taught a class, almost to the day.
That's right, because your last class was in Tacoma.
Well, yeah, my last class was in Tacoma, and the last day of that class was the Thursday before we moved.
Right.
And we moved on Halloween last year.
That's true.
So we've been here for a year.
Yeah. Okay.
And we love it. And you're not going to get rid of us. Though Montana, you could turn on the snow. That'd be great.
It's getting there. It's getting cold.
Yeah, so cold.
We see here with your...
I've got my down jacket, a flannel, a shirt, pants, and my boots with the fur. Plus the heater over here. Plus I took a really hot shower, so I'm not cold.
There we go. All right. So been back and getting back into a routine with the kids. I would have to say my biggest struggle right now with the kids is, oh, man.
Which one to choose?
You know what? It's probably the it's probably the conversations and the reactions with every kid. I talked about it on the last episode with the various kid and the age level and maturity. Because see, you screwed up because you taught them how to read so well.
Okay.
and speak so well.
To set that
so
one
I
up.
forget that they're like 8 years old and 4 years, well, almost 4, right? And
you treat them all like they're adults.
Exactly. And that's not
and
fair
they're little
to
people
myself.
with
I mean, I should.
you-size feelings and they're teeny tiny bodies, and you act like they're.
Did you just say you-size feelings?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
They're big feelings. The same feelings that you have in your giant body, they're having in their teeny tiny little body, and they don't even know how to handle it.
Our buddy Nick in Washington Greer.
Hi, Nick.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Oh, he's just saying what's up.
What's up?
Yeah. Yeah, big size feelings. That's pretty funny.
Like grown-ups, like adult feelings.
Right.
In this tiny little body.
So, yeah. I have that's my biggest struggle right now and I've gotten better with scheduling because I work for myself and I don't have the schedule where I go to work and come home like before. And so now it's just trying to balance all the different projects I'm doing. And then like you have a good routine because you've been doing it now for about 4 or 5 years now.
4.
Yeah. 4 years of working on, so you have a routine of like when you do your...
Strictly working for myself for 4 years.
Yep. Yeah. So when you do work stuff, when you do the school stuff with the kids, when you're home, when you work out and all that stuff too. And I'm like in this moderately beginning to intermediate stage of like 4 to 5 different things I'm doing right now, and having to really kind of hammer down the time on what I schedule for what, whether it's like consulting work or training at SBG or trying to pick up new clients or the current clients I have right now doing their programming, the 2 podcasts I'm running, so it's just trying to balance all those things out.
Right.
And I'm like this week, I just was like, oh, I need a notebook. I was talking to Denver about it. I was like, oh, I got to get back on track with like hour by hour scheduling out my day. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm always like playing catch up. So, yeah. Anyway. All right. So let's get into our topic for today. So,
Do you want to talk about Halloween?
Oh, shoot. I totally forgot. Yeah. Halloween. Oh, it did just happen. See, it tells you like, I don't even know what day it is.
I know. It's Wednesday.
Yeah. Halloween was kind of a shit show.
No,
I mean that in the best way possible from a parent standpoint, right? So
I had this conversation with one of my client/friends, because when you have somebody as a client for a long time, they become friends. And he has a little one, and they're on the East Coast, and like he said it was really fun to watch his daughter have fun, which is of course like the best part of parenting is watching your kids like crack up over something really silly, or like hearing your kids tell each other like their memories or their stories, or like, they're just, or like getting along really well and just kind of like having a good time. Yeah. And it is great. But then you're the parent, and he and I actually both agreed on this. I'm like, I think next year, and Alex and I too, I think next year we're going to do like a at-home party, because we went out for Halloween this year. Last year we were moving on Halloween and it was COVID. So like nobody was doing trick-or-treating. Our lovely client/friends in Tacoma, who usually put on this like awesome decorations in their house, and they always had mulled wine and like beer for the adults and like full-size candy bars for the kids. They had this kind of cool tube set up where you could like pick what you wanted and they'd send it down the tube. So they were keeping that distance. But the kids like got a little goodie bag from our neighbor down the street, and then that trick-or-treating from that one house. Right. And we drove here. So there was no trick-or-treating and there was no Halloween last year. So this year was the first time we'd done it here. And we hadn't really historically done Halloween every year either. But the first year we did it here, and I think I remember hearing that they didn't really do it last year for the same reasons. And it was like they had let loose, they had opened the gates, and all of the people and all of the children and all of the world came to Montana to trick or treat. There were more kids on the sidewalks and more adults on the sidewalks, and there was room for people.
Yeah.
And then we had our 5 kids, our friends had their 3 kids, and then we met up with other kids from the gym. So we ended up having like a blob of like 20 kids and the accompanying parents that went along with that. And it was like, oh my gosh. And it was really, really cold, and it got really dark, and like that sounds like really cold and really dark. But you're like, your little kids are freezing their little costume butts off, and it's dark, and you're trying to keep track of your children, and what is like the worst horror movie nightmare of like, just pick them off. Nobody will know they're gone.
Well, it's dark. Everybody's in masks and costumes.
Yeah.
And it's like dark because there's not a lot of
street lights.
Which
is great for stargazing.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. But I mean, that's why I brought, my flashlight, and David, our buddy, and his family came out, and he had his flashlight.
Yeah.
And there was one of the dads we ran into, and it's like the 3rd time I've kind of talked to this guy briefly. And he says the snarkiest, dumbest shit. And
snarky, not dumb, just snarky.
You say not dumb. I say
I don't
dumb.
think it's dumb. I just think it's snarky.
Yeah. He's like, well, what's the flashlight for? To keep track of your kids? And I was like,
yes.
Well, yeah, man. That's exactly what it's for.
That's what it's for.
What happens is every night at a certain time it gets dark. You see, and then we can't see in the dark.
And
there are shit. Like I wanted to hit him with the flashlight.
Well, and there was just
I was going to go, that was a fucking stupid question.
There was just a lot of.
I told David that. He was like, that's dumb.
Kids. It was just a lot of people, and it was overwhelming. And then our kids were like, just losing their GD minds the next day. And they didn't even eat a lot of candy. We let them have one piece of candy. Mm-hmm. And we always do this every year. We have one piece of candy. We take out the candy that they can't eat. Stuff with like gluten in it, so they don't get Twix, womp womp, which are the best, or Kit Kats, bleh, and or Whoppers. Bleh. So we take those out and we bring them to church for the people that can have those things.
I know where Calliope gets all these sounds she makes. One of our twins, our 8-year-old, all the other kids are like, oh, I don't like that. She goes, what? I'm like, what are you doing? And then all the other kids are like, oh, don't do that. It makes me want to throw up. Yeah. So that's fun.
Yeah. So
so it was a little crazy, but they had fun.
It was crazy, and they had fun, but then I think there was some houses that like really went all out for Halloween.
One of them, when we got home, they're like, why do people have to be so creepy?
Yeah, because in our family, Halloween, like they don't get to be scary, creepy things for Halloween because we don't need to add like crap and scary and off and like darkness into our lives. Like there's enough of that in the world. We don't need to like invite it in, right?
Yep.
So there was this one house, and if you go by it right now, it still has the decorations on. It's got like a coven of witches dancing around a cauldron and like a bunch of stuff. But this person's sitting in front of their house, and and there's the Michael Myers Halloween music playing in the background. That like tinny like 3-key piano music that's like urgent, and it totally puts your hair on end.
Well, you know what's funny about that is like the that just tells you how creepy that music is because the kids have never seen that movie, never heard that music before, and they're like, "That was creepy music, Mom."
Well, and then the guy or girl or whoever, because you don't know, is handing out the candy, is wearing like a white spattered like jumpsuit. Right. And then a black long wig, like the Ring Girl wig, and then a doll face.
Oh, I remember that.
And we all know how effing creepy
dolls
are, especially old dolls that eyes like just dead stare at you. Like, what is it? Doll face, shark eyes, or shark eyes? What is it? Oh. From The Fighter and the Kid. Yeah. It's like that. It's like this doll face, this like totally like quiet face, but then these eyes that you're like, I'm pretty sure
shark eyes, doll face.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a demon in there.
Yeah.
So then this person that's handing out candy is sitting in their spattered jumpsuit with this doll face like mask on and their black long stringy hair, their head tilted sideways like a fucking creeper, and they're holding the candy bowl in their lap. Which don't even get me started, okay?
That's too funny.
And then they reach for the candy, and every once in a while, the guy will grab whoever's grabbing the candy and scare the shit out of the kids.
Which is funny.
Which is scary. And so it made our kids like, hey, that was creepy. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. So that's why I'm like, let's have a Halloween party at our house next year with a bonfire and mulled cider for the adults and and like a movie and candy and treats and stuff. So then we know what's in the candy and in the food. B, there's not going to be any razor blades or weird psychedelics shoved into our kids' candies.
I feel like we have to worry about psychedelics out here in Montana. Maybe.
Seriously?
Oh, like meth? I don't know.
There's lots of mushrooms that grow out here. No, it's too dry.
We just got here.
It's too dry for mushrooms. But yeah, and also just to like add to my whole thing about dolls and clowns. Let me just, have I gone over clowns on this before? In an episode?
Yeah, you have.
I have? On an episode?
One of them at least. One of the ones that we did, on my
I'm going to do
podcast.
it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a weirdo when it comes to clowns.
I'm not a weirdo.
I'm just saying.
Okay. In what world is a grown adult male dressed in conspicuously baggy clothes?
I feel like you're being very judgmental right now.
I am so judgmental and I don't care. Wearing weird facial feature obscuring makeup and a wig that is meant to attract small children to come toward the clown.
Or freak him out.
That's like straight up acceptable pedophilia right there.
What?
That's like a grown adult being like, come on, little children, in my big pants. Like, what? You can't tell who I am. You don't know what color my hair is. You don't know what my facial features look like. I'm wearing obscuring clothes. So therefore, I am this just nebulous mass that has every opportunity to... No. See, look, and if you've ever seen Sons of Anarchy, the first season, there's an episode where a creepy ass clown does something to a small child. And I was like, I told you clowns were bad. Yeah. But still, clowns are just bad news. And then there's a reason they made it. That's not because it's like, oh, clowns are really lovable and fine. No, everybody thinks clowns are creepy. Everyone.
My buddy Chuck from Waste Management in Seattle.
Yeah.
He's giving a shit right now.
What did he say?
He said, you sound like you're from Seattle. Chuck, I'll have you know that we both hated the hell out of Washington.
No, thank you.
A lot of nonsense and came to good old like land of freedom over here. You should join us, bro.
Yeah. Well,
so.
is he good?
Chuck's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Chuck used to give management shit all the time except me.
Oh,
so,
perfect.
So we get along
Good.
great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that is my Halloween clown spiel. Right. I just think it's totally inappropriate. And it's just like another one of those things that we like accept socially, but is really, if we really look at it with like eyes wide open, is a just terrible idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know me, like as far as how I am with, the kids and security.
Yeah, I do.
And it's in my background. So I'm always, overly aware. I don't
think you're overly aware.
Well, no, but I mean, like I don't go out and go like, oh, the kids are trick or treating, and then off they go.
No. Our son goes, when am I going to get to go trick or treating by myself? And in my head, I'm thinking never. But I'm also thinking, well, when you're big enough and confident enough that it would take more than one male adult
at that point
to try to get you. And that's the other thing too, is I'm like, why are there teenagers out here trick-or-treating? Like, if you're tall enough and your voice is deep, like you have no business trick-or-treating.
That's funny. All right. So that's our
moving on. Story. That is my spiel for the night.
Halloween rant. I can imagine Chuck and Nick, our buddies watching in the Seattle area, what Halloween was like in Washington. If you had a bunch of, well, you know what? I'll give them credit. These guys don't live actually in Seattle, so their neighborhoods are probably
well. And then our old neighborhood, they just like they went a lot like they normally do, and they just adapted like they always do.
Yeah. So,
which they did great because our old neighborhood was awesome. I miss, especially this time of year, I miss our old neighborhood.
All right. So if you're watching, and you want to chime in, we're talking about the dumbest fight you've had with your significant other.
With a significant other. It can be your current one or a past one. Those will probably be even better.
Yeah. So,
all right. So do you want to go first?
You want me to tell you the dumbest one we've had?
No, you have the answers. I know the dumb fights.
I feel like this is going to get me in trouble.
No, I want to hear. No, actually, we can end with that. You can tell me what the dumbest fight you think we've had is.
Oh, God. Let's pick something. Just look around. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying it's dumb.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Some of these answers, I'm like, oh yeah, we've had a fight about that.
Right. Okay. So dumbest fight is actually we've had a fight about this. Dumbest fight. One of our buddies. Did he say we can't say this one?
They're all anonymous.
The joke one too.
They all need to be anonymous.
No, that wasn't anonymous.
They all need to be anonymous.
He never said anonymous on that one.
All of our responses are anonymous because you never know what the other person thinks about it. So no,
he's single. All right. So,
That'll be a fight if you tell people's names.
That's hilarious. All right. Chuck said in Ballard in Washington, it's Halloween every day.
Yeah, it is. In Ballard.
I don't know. Chuck Ballard is like
Ballard.
Yeah, but you see, we've been gone a year.
But it's so like.
Well, and then the year that we weren't, whenever we shut down, it got stupid. Like the whole Seattle area in general is weird. And then plus you have to remember, you go to Ballard where you want to go,
for
like those little shots. Well, you go to those little shots.
Yeah.
Like we were working with these neighborhoods.
I've only actually been there one time.
There's some dumb shit out
and I liked it because I was there just the one time.
Yeah, I was there with UPS and Waste Management. So that was not the best.
I think my favorite neighborhood in Seattle was Queen Anne. I think that was my favorite. And I did like Fremont too. But
okay. So dumbest argument from
our friend.
I'll just say his name is Dave.
Don't give names.
It's not his name.
Doesn't matter. Just from one of the dumbest arguments. You don't have to give names. Dude, this is you're being fucking stupid. Just say the thing.
So one of the dumbest arguments they had was literally about jokes that he told. Just him being funny.
Yeah, but funny is relative.
I mean, he is getting a divorce now, so.
Yeah. It's
but
relative.
That's not why.
Oh, are you sure?
You know their situation.
I don't know their situation. I don't know who it is. You have to tell me later.
He came to the wedding with us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he's not, they're not married.
No.
So he's not.
Oh, that's true. They're actually not married, so they're not getting divorced.
Yeah.
They're just not together anymore, but they have a kid together.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And he does tell some awkward jokes sometimes.
I love this person.
Oh, he's the best.
But he can make you really uncomfortable really quickly if you don't know him very well.
Okay. See, he just texted me. So it's our buddy Tony. He just said, because he's watching, he said, I am not anonymous. You can say my name.
Okay. Yes, Tony.
So
I happen to love Tony.
Yeah, Tony's the best.
And Tony,
we met him like a week after we moved to Washington.
I met him in the gym.
Stalking my wife at the
gym. He wasn't stalking me. I actually stopped him.
You were stalking him until his form was off.
I wasn't stalking him. I asked him to record my heavy squat, which was like 265.
It's like a pickup line from a porno.
And then you're gross. And then we're gonna have a fight about that.
I'm so glad we told our priest not to listen to this.
Yeah, podcast. He's like, "Is it something the kids should listen to?" Because we're gonna do these. And I was like, "No." But yeah. Well, I mean, we know Tony's situation.
Yep.
But look, I can understand because there was a time when you would tell quote unquote jokes, but it'd be at the expense of me or somebody else in the room. And you thought you were being funny and you were just being a giant dickbag.
It's usually the person who's just not having a good time. That's what they say.
Or you're telling stories about me that I've never actually heard.
What are you talking about?
Like that time that I apparently tried to kill you in your sleep. I have no memory of it.
I told you about that.
You didn't. Not until you told the entire room first. And I was like, you know what? I should have done it.
To give,
and you wouldn't have been able to tell the story.
To be fair, I do have CTE, so.
Yeah, multiple.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I just say that like I don't remember. No.
That's an excuse.
No, he didn't try to kill me. It was just.
That's not how you told it.
Well, because it was funny. It was like you had a nightmare and you reached over and
I didn't have a nightmare.
Okay, well then apparently you calmly in your sleep, you clamped your hand down on my face and squeezed it.
I have little tiny hands. You have a massive face. Huh? Like what kind of damage am I going to do?
You're strong. Big ass face. Deadlift like 500 pounds.
Not at the time. And no, I can't. At the time, I was not strong like I am now. I just
exaggerate how strong you are, so I feel better when people, when you.
Look, if I can deadlift 500 pounds, you better get your ass in gear and lift some more weight.
Let me deadlift more than that.
No.
If there was a car on one of the kids, I would pick that car up with one hand.
Well,
yeah. So for sure.
So no, you can't.
What?
You can't. Never once have you.
Yes, I have.
500?
Okay,
no.
Separate. No. Well, never mind. Anyway.
Yeah, no.
All right, moving on.
So that fight. Jokes he would tell. Look, I don't know the context of the jokes. I do know the situation, and I feel like I think he's funny, but at the same time, I don't have to live with him just like nobody else has to live with my partner, and nobody else has to live with me. So there's that.
Oh, that's funny. All right. So.
I got one.
Okay, go ahead. Wait, hold on.
You just did one.
Huh?
You just did one.
Right, but we didn't talk about all the dumb jokes he told.
What dumb jokes did I tell about you?
I don't know, but I'm sure there's
none.
Remember, I have CTE. So.
Yeah, because I
just know there are
not to make jokes about you because you're my partner and the father of my children.
You couldn't even say that with a straight face.
Oh no, this is dead serious. Just because you choose to show your love by being the biggest asshole you could possibly be.
No, I could be a bigger asshole for sure. 100% I could be a bigger asshole.
I mean, you've been a giant asshole lots of times. Just a gaping, festering asshole. I love you. Don't listen to this.
I don't know where to go.
Other paniotis.
All right. Okay, so so obviously jokes is one, right? As you can see, it's a sensitive subject for some people. So.
Either they're funny or they're not. If you're not, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart,
Tony
Jim
says
Gaffigan.
it's sex jokes.
Oh, sex jokes.
Tony, are they sex jokes about like
the person?
Sex you're having with your ex? Is that the joke?
Ooh, don't.
Or are they just general sex jokes? I mean, if you're telling sex jokes about your sex life to your ex while you guys were together, I can see being a problem.
Or if you're telling jokes about your sex life with your ex to your friends
while your ex is there.
While your ex wasn't your ex at the time. I would say that that's pretty touchy.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right.
I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
Over what my face was doing. Don't make your face do that at me.
Wait, what?
The dumbest argument was over what my face, quotations, over what my face was doing. Don't make your face do that at me.
I feel like we should do an episode on this where like you just name these off and then I try to guess who it is. No. Just based on the stupidity.
It's not stupid. It's just, it is what it is.
So they had a massive argument over the face.
Dumbest. They had an argument.
They had an argument over the face he was making at her.
No.
She was making it him.
Oh,
wouldn't make sense.
What their face was doing. I mean, it's hard not to when you're looking at your face. Her face was doing, don't make your face do that at me.
Don't make your face do that at me. That's what he told her?
Yeah.
God, I feel like that's a...
I'm not answering it if you guess. I'm just not
No. I wasn't going to guess who it was. I just feel like it's a very like beta male response.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Have I ever said to you, don't
yes.
make your face...
You have said, you've gone...
Have I... Hold on.
Gosh,
Let me finish.
Let
me finish. Have I ever said the words to you, don't make... I don't even know what he said. What was it? Don't make your face
do that at me.
Do that at me. Have I ever said that to you?
You've never said that quote, but I've like looked at you and you've gone like trying. And if you're watching, you'll see that he looks like he's having a fucking seizure. Because see, exactly.
Well, to be fair,
don't make your face do that at me.
To be fair, when you mock me, I'm gay and I have Down syndrome.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with being gay or having Down syndrome. So maybe you should.
But I'm not gay or have Down syndrome.
Also, so I don't because that's an insult to those people. Don't be an asshat. Okay.
Okay, let's throw this one out there. I'm hoping he's laughing. Chuck says, huge argument after banging my wife's coworker at a party.
Whoa!
I feel like it's not a dumb argument, Chuck. I feel like it's a very warranted. Is that ex-wife? Did you forget to put X in there? See, aren't you glad we did
that? Is not a dumb argument.
I am glad we did this episode live.
That's a big argument.
I feel like that should go on our episode 1 of massive arguments.
Holy shit.
Oh, that's hilarious.
If you put your pecker in somebody else's body that's not your partner's, you better expect that there's going to be an argument.
It's not the right box, Chuck.
Was it mislabeled?
To be fair, Chuck's usually used to picking things up, not dropping them off for what he does for a living. So give him the benefit of the doubt.
Gross. Chuck, I don't even know you. Good grief.
Oh, he says it's all good now. So
okay. Dang it. Wow.
See, Chuck was one of my favorites.
Okay.
We live in Seattle, so it's all good.
Oh, okay. Got it.
It's like San Francisco, you know?
The open relationship.
It's one of those relationships.
I mean, does that mean that she got to go to your work and like pick one out and be like, that one?
I've been to his work. There's not really a lot of slim pickings there. Don't worry, Chuck, I got your back. I mean, I haven't been there in like 2 years, so I don't know.
It doesn't mean there aren't options.
All right. Okay, so.
Now your turn.
Oh, my face hurts. I'm so glad we did this one live to get some of these comments.
That's good. That's good. I do have to say, one of my very, very, very best friends said that she listened to the episode that you sent her and she loved hearing it. It was like she was in the room with us, listening to us.
Oh, because she knows us. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we have this banter. Like this isn't an act.
This is how we've been the whole time we've been together. So she said that she loved it. So I do have to say that.
Oh, man. That's funny. All right. Okay. So we had, I think the dumbest arguments was jokes.
Face makings, what their face does to a person.
Just to go back to that originally, Tony said that there's sex jokes in general. That's what she said. Cards Against Humanity style stuff. Remember that game?
Oh, yeah. No, that's a hilarious game.
Yeah. So that kind of stuff.
Oh, well, I don't understand that. So.
Oh. You know what? He just threw another joke out. I'm not going to even read it on air because...
Is that bad?
Yes.
We've said all kinds of things on here.
Something about glory holes.
Oh, no.
All right.
Nope, we're good.
Okay, so next one is dumbest arguments.
I mean, you just said Chuck's, apparently.
No, okay, let's go into movies or TV shows to watch. And
TV shows?
Yeah,
like
just like
Netflix?
like when you're sitting down with, at the end of the day, or just something you want to watch, right? And how that can turn into like a pretty big argument.
That, or I'll amend it a little bit. When the other person falls asleep while watching a show and the one that stays awake gets like angry at the person that falls asleep, like that person is falling asleep watching their masterpiece and they have personally insulted them by passing out watching their masterpiece.
Master what?
Peace.
Oh.
Dude, shut your face.
No. So to be fair, first of all, you and I have both gotten ridiculously mad. As if we made... No, we have.
Ooh.
You've actually yelled at me, go to bed, and I didn't get up, and you paused the show, and you were yelling at me to go to bed.
I didn't yell at you to go to bed. I said, get up and go to bed.
You were like...
Here's what was
you were talking to me like a kid. Like,
yeah, because you're acting like a child. You're like,
no, I can't act like anything. I was asleep.
No, you were like... I'm like, are you awake? You're like, yeah, I'm awake. I'm like, hey, go to bed.
So wait, hold on. This is the first time I heard this.
I don't want to go to bed.
Are you saying that you wanted me to go to bed because I was snoring and making noise?
Yeah.
That's not what you said.
No, and the other reason is you needed to go to bed because you had to get up early for work, and this is when you still worked at UPS, and you refused to go to bed at a decent hour. And so then you're like, I'm not tired. Like... it was like talking to a baby, like our 3.5-year-old who's like, I don't want to go to sleep, and then she's out in 2 seconds. That's what it was like. So
just gonna fight first for a while.
Not the same.
On the couch.
Exactly. I'm not tired. So yeah. TV shows. Okay, so TV shows. Picking a show, maybe. Mm-hmm. Okay,
I could see that.
Yeah. Well, and there's things that I just won't watch with you because I know that you won't shut up the whole time and you'll just ruin it. So I just don't watch them. Or you're dumb. Or you have a zero ear for accents, and so you're like, what did they just say? What did they just say? What did they just say?
Because they're mumbling.
Peaky Blinders.
Okay, they're not speaking English.
They are speaking
any level of English at all.
They are.
Okay, there are running jokes and memes about how you have to have
the subtitles
on for that show. It's fucking gibberish. It's like
watching Snatch.
It's like Brad Pitt Snatch gibberish.
Which you're like, it's the best movie ever. You have to watch it. I'm like,
but
no.
Also, that's not the whole movie. It's just him.
Right.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah. Then you have Jason Statham's English, which is like super enunciate every word very clearly.
Yeah, but you don't know what half the words mean because you don't speak Cockney or whatever version of English.
Statham's not speaking Cockney. That's freaking, what's his name?
Sometimes he is.
No, not in that movie.
No, Brad Pitt was Welsh.
You wouldn't know. You weren't watching that movie.
Brad Pitt was Welsh.
You never saw the movie.
I don't need to see it. I've seen all. No, I don't. Brad Pitt is a Welshman. He's a gypsy Welshman.
Gypsy is the
Gypsies speak Romany. Yeah. It's a different language. It's like a mishmash of all the languages of all the countries they've been in. Yeah.
I feel like... never mind. Anyway,
yeah, be careful what you say. Well, just another dumb argument.
Well, no, I wasn't worried about offending you.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, there are shows that I just won't watch with you because you'll either not stop talking or you'll talk to the show like it can hear you, which you get mad at the kids for doing, or you will...
Wait, what do I get mad at the kids for?
Talking to the television.
Yeah, well, because I'm watching and it won't be quiet. Don't act like you don't get mad when they talk.
What bothers me about when they talk is when you open your bigger, louder face hole and get even more obnoxious than them.
I don't. I just tell them to be quiet.
Loudly and over and over again.
Because they can't hear me. They're deaf. I feel like our podcast is basically me just throwing dumb shit at you and just like watching. Why are you making your face make that look at me? I can't.
Don't make your face.
Don't make your face do that at me. Yes, that's it. That's going on a t-shirt.
Okay.
Don't make your face do that.
Do that at me.
Oh, we should do that in like a jiu-jitsu shirt.
Yes.
As you're freaking putting someone to sleep, why is your face doing that to me? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Obviously, it sounds like we argue all the time. We don't.
We used to.
Just a lot.
Yeah. So, what's next one?
The proper orientation of toilet paper and paper towels. And we have had this argument.
We have not. I can give two shits about which way they're facing.
Which is apparent because you put it on backward.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
How? Which way is the proper way?
The proper way is with the rolling down when you...
That's how I do it every single time.
Not always.
See, I think you forget that we have children and they like to fuck with things all the time.
This was when we had a child and maybe two who were nowhere near putting toilet paper rolls on.
Let's pause for a minute here. The fact that you are bringing up a toilet roll argument.
A giant bag of
from
smashed
9 years
dicks.
ago.
We have been together for 18 years.
And that's what you remember?
I have a crap ton of stupid arguments between the two of us. So maybe you can just shut your face. Because you're like, I never put the toilet paper on wrong. Well,
there's no wrong way.
Don't say never.
As long as it works.
It doesn't work.
Does it roll down? Yes,
no, it doesn't. Because when you go like this and it's rolled backwards, it just keeps rolling back on itself and you can't get
retard and bat the toilet paper like a cat.
Oh my God.
Grab it and pull it down.
Fuck, I hate you. We're getting a divorce. You're a piece of shit.
I feel like this episode is going to pop up at church one day. These are youth group leaders.
Oh God. No, we told them not to listen to it. That it is not appropriate for children.
Oh man. All right.
So that was one. And then the orientation of a paper towel, which I guess with paper towels.
Orientation. They're standing up. It's on that little.
Sometimes they're on the thing that hangs out underneath the cabinets, kind of like a toilet paper roll. But I do have to say, in the defense of all the people that load the toilet paper backwards, I saw from a mom of a toddler that's the what she does that on purpose because when her small child
is batting at it like
trying to bat it down,
it just
rolls up on itself, which again proves the point that that's the wrong way because when you try to get the toilet paper rolls up on itself, yes.
No, that's the child safety way. That's all it is. There's no wrong or right way.
Keep telling yourself that.
You know which way is the right way?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody cares.
I do. I do. In the middle of the night when I'm half asleep, I definitely care.
Next.
I'm telling you.
Next.
I hate you. All right. And I'm only sort of kidding. All right.
Dumb arguments. That was one.
COVID vaccination. This was in dumbest and biggest. It was the same person that responded the same both ways.
Okay. So depending on circumstances.
And what your opinion on it is.
That's why I'm saying circumstances, right?
Yeah.
Circumstances are like, person's health,
what they do
issues,
for work,
what they do for work, and then your stance on all that stuff. Okay. So I guess I would require a little bit more detail. Was it just about the vaccine in general, or like the mandate, or that they should or shouldn't?
I think it's that they should or shouldn't.
Shouldn't.
I know this person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need a little more detail on that.
And I know that they've gotten the vaccination.
Both of them?
I don't know who she's arguing with, but I know she has. I don't know if it's her current partner or a previous one.
Gotcha. So she got vaccinated and she was arguing with her partner about getting vaccinated. He didn't want to get vaccinated.
I don't know.
Okay.
She didn't give specifics.
Okay. So it sounds like that's what it is.
But she got it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all about people's freedom to choose that. And it was an argument with somebody that probably that she shouldn't.
Right.
And there, there's the worry that it causes infertility. And her response was, I don't want babies anyway. So along those lines. And then this, there's also the memes that I've seen of like, you're worried about all these like ingredients in the vaccination. And you're like, I don't want to put that in my body. And then the response is, I've seen your ex-boyfriends. You don't give a shit about what you put in your body. So I've seen memes like that along those lines. So I think that it's almost like the vaccination has become political. Has been.
Pretty much everything COVID has been politicized.
Right. So I'm pretty sure there's a political bent to it. It's almost like politics and religion. Both of those topics can be very incendiary in a relationship. And so I think that it makes sense that would be a big argument. But she agrees that it's big and dumb. So it all just depends on the person.
That's a good point.
What do you have for the next one?
Well, I guess the next one was, and this one was in both, and it was firearms. That was in dumbest argument and biggest argument from two different people. So one person said it was the biggest argument they had. Another person said it was the dumbest argument they had.
Okay.
So I think on the dumbest side, it had more to do with, if I remember correctly, because I couldn't find it back when we first asked this a couple weeks ago. It was which firearm to own.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
that's an interesting one.
And
I thought it was
into an argument.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was one advocating for? Like a fully automatic versus a handgun? Which
I feel like it's not
you don't need an M16 for self-defense. You don't know what I need, Joe.
It's Brandon.
Oh, sorry. You don't know what I need, Brandon.
Code. No, I think for it to be an argument, I'll have to text them and find out. But I don't think it has
AK-47.
No, I think it had
AR-15.
I think it had more to do, like knowing them. I think it had more to do with how much more does he need? Not an argument of like what's your everyday carry? Like, oh, you should get a Glock.
Oh, you need another gun?
Yeah,
like that.
I think that's what it was.
Why do you need another one?
Yeah,
you only have two hands.
Yeah, exactly.
I only have two hands. Like, I mean, I could put so many on my body, but
yeah, I think that was more the context. Like just knowing the couple. Yeah, I think the context was, how many more you're buying versus versus which one. No.
Oh, got it. Okay.
No.
But then the other argument was about like guns should be completely banned, and the other person was like, no.
Yeah, that was the big argument.
Yeah,
that was
what well, we didn't talk about that last time. That's a bummer. No, we didn't.
Oh, okay.
We were going to because it was very.
Well, I guess it is a dumb argument.
It was very.
We all know guns should not be banned.
It was very appropriate to the time because it was shortly after Alex Baldwin accidentally discharged and murdered somebody on a movie set because he has zero handgun training because he's so anti guns that he broke all the rules.
Like every law of like carrying a gun. I mean,
like every rule.
Handling a gun, period, or firearm. Yeah.
So whether you like them or not, they're a tool.
Yeah, for sure.
And whether you are going to have one or not, you should know all the rules.
Right.
And if you're going to play one in a movie, you should know how to use it.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other shit show.
So that was those were the two that.
Yeah. All right. How about you? Let's do one more.
I got a bunch more.
You got a bunch more?
I got.
Okay, let's go a couple more.
All right. This is from the same person that said their biggest argument was fighting each other as opposed to attacking the problem. Our boat's sinking, and we demand to know who drilled the first hole while we sink.
Wait, what?
Their boat is sinking. They're in a boat.
Yeah.
And they're pointing fingers at each other to say who drilled the first hole to make them sink. That's how dumb the argument was. They're both sinking in this boat and arguing about, oh, you made that hole before I made this hole, so therefore it is the...
Wait, why the hell are they drilling holes in a boat?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know. You're both idiots.
I agree. I
don't...
What?
I don't know where to go with that.
I agree that it's a stupid argument. If you're sinking and there are two holes and one was drilled before the other, it doesn't matter because you're sinking because there are two holes in your boat. If there was one hole and that was it, and you had drilled it, it would be your fault, dumbass. But if there are 2 holes.
So I'm going to go hard left in the conversation for a second. Our buddy Tony with the fun sex jokes.
Oh, God. Are you going to tell one?
No, he's super excited because he was able to comment now. So apparently his ban from Facebook is over.
Oh, yeah, because he got banned. Because
he goes, did it work? I go, so I texted him privately. I'm like, what are you talking about?
That's right. He must be no longer suspended.
He was in Facebook jail for all his...
because having opinions contrary to popular...
too, which is funny.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Okay, back to the idiots drilling holes in their boats. The
fact that they recognize that it was a dumb argument, stop. Don't call them idiots anymore. They don't.
I want to know, why would they drill holes in the boat?
I don't know.
Were they trying to fix the boat while it was parked? Is that what it was?
I have no idea.
Maybe while it was anchored?
I didn't ask for clarification because I was like, that's really dumb.
Okay.
I didn't ask. Some of these I did. The next one, I asked for clarification because this is another good friend of mine who's been married a long time. How often to wash shower towels?
I
asked him.
Hold on. First of all, wait, go ahead. Actually, you go ahead.
Let's see if I can see.
I was just going to say that, that's a pretty simple one, which is if you share shower towels versus use your own, like you have your own shower towels for the most part.
Sure.
Yeah. So my point is some people might want to like you reuse theirs like 2 or 3 times. Mm-hmm. And some people like to wash them after every single shower.
That was my question actually to him.
Oh, what
was it about? And I said, are you a wash it every time or are you a wash it when it starts to smell?
Right.
And he said it was more that his partner would take the towel when he was in the shower, or like take the towel and wash it, and he wouldn't check beforehand to see if the towel was there, and he'd get in the shower, and then he'd be like towelless, and he didn't want to track water through the house. He'd be yelling for a towel.
Well, that's like being mad that, what's it called? Your car ran out of gas, and you're driving halfway down the road, and you look at the car had gas before you
Not the same. There's
not the same.
No,
you
it
still
isn't.
have a little bit of ownership.
No.
How do you not know there's not a towel in the bathroom before you take a shower?
I give up. I'm done talking to you. You're such a dickhead.
Nobody can hear you and your headphones are...
I don't care. Shut up and let me clarify. How's that?
Okay, clarify.
Okay. So that was the argument.
Tony, you're on my side.
And he's single. Interesting. Get ready to go date
This is every single use.
Go get ready to date your 12-year-old hostess at the sushi place.
What? Oh, you're talking to me now.
Yeah.
Every single use. Okay, I disagree there.
Okay, so anyway, I asked,
go ahead.
And he said that it was more that like he'd get in the shower, not realizing that his towel was gone, and then he'd be like, "Where's my towel?" And that person would get upset because they were trying to be helpful, and so the partner would get upset. And he said he's a wash it after many uses, and his person is washed every time. And I'm it's drying off your clean body. Like if I was wiping my dirty ass body with it, I would wash it every time.
You're using it as toilet paper.
Yeah, but I'm using it on a freshly washed body, and it dries out completely because we live in Montana where it's dry. Like, wash it whenever I feel the urge.
Yeah.
And if you think that's gross, I don't care. You don't live in my house.
Yeah. No, that's good. I can see a valid argument if like the partner took the towel while they were in the shower.
Yeah, like for sure.
That's where Tony threw out there.
Yeah. And I think it was interesting because it's him and his wife and their daughter, and they were having an argument one time. He said it's like they call it the backpack argument, where they're all like arguing over a backpack, and he said he yelled, "Can we please stop arguing over the freaking backpack?" And so now it's like their code word where somebody will be like, "Stop talking about the backpack," because it's an argument that has like no point and it's just kind of circular and just keeps going. So it's like their family code word now, the backpack.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then we have the issue of, the kids take showers and there's 7 towels on the bathroom floor. Yeah,
the bathroom, if they're on the floor, then they're dirty and you need to wash them.
I'm just annoyed that they're on the floor, period.
Also, same, agree.
Yeah. So,
Agree.
Okay, what's another one?
Putting the dishes a certain way, if they get clean, who cares? So loading the dishwasher in a particular manner.
Our therapist had an issue with that. Remember?
No,
he did.
It was not with the way that it was loaded. It was not rinsing off the catfish fork or cat food fork.
It was an issue with like loading the dishwasher.
No, it was an issue with not cleaning the dish before you put it in the dishwasher. It's not the same.
Semantics. Anyway,
Not the same.
Okay, so
She's talking about loading the dishes in the dishwasher like higgledy-piggledy versus...
What was that you just said?
Dude, just because you are an uncultured swine and don't know what that word means, whatever.
That's not a word.
It is a phrase.
Higgledy-piggledy?
Yes. Look it up. You have a computer. Google it. Or DuckDuckGo it, whatever you have, because Google is the devil. We know this.
Spell
Higgledy, Higggledy. Piggledy. Same thing with a P.
Google says Higgledy Town Heroes. I don't even want to go there. Higgledy-piggledy. Oh, it came up.
Yeah, I know.
No, probably because Google's listening. In utter disorder or confusion.
Exactly.
I feel like they just made this shit up.
They didn't. It's a very well-known term.
I'd never heard that. Higgledy-piggledy. All right, you learned something new. There you go, Facebook and podcast world. You just learned a new term.
They all knew it. You didn't know it. Everyone else knew it.
I don't know.
Anyone who's ever read a book knew it. Ever read like a child nursery rhyme book to their kid? It's for sure in there.
Higgledy-piggledy.
Yes. Anyway, so if you don't, like the argument is that if you don't put the dishes in there properly, they won't get clean, or there's like a way to do it and their way is the best way. Now, growing up, the dishwashers that I grew up with had one like jet stream of water. So yes, if you loaded the bottom tray of the dishwasher with like a big giant bowl, then the top tray wouldn't get clean. But the dishwashers nowadays have the trays at the top also have their own spray. So like it doesn't really matter how you load it.
Is that called like a spindly windly? I feel like you're going to divorce me over that joke.
Dude, you're...
all right.
I would not have made it this far if I couldn't handle the stupid shit that pours out of your mouth.
18 years in.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Let's get one or two more.
I only have two more.
Okay, perfect.
And then we have three.
Okay.
Do we spell our first child's name Emily, Emily, or Emily, Emilee? Her name is Emily, Emily. That was the argument.
The argument about the spelling? Mm-hmm. Emilee.
Or Emily.
Yeah.
So whoever picked Emily won. And whoever picked EE did not win. The dumbest argument.
Yeah, I don't know.
Winner.
Yeah, Emily.
It's the same.
Emily.
It's not Emily versus Emily. Like, it's Emily.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know shit about grammar, so I'm the wrong person to even comment on that. Or spelling. Is there a lot? Is that common? The EE one? I've never seen that.
I mean, it's like how you can spell May, like Phoebe's middle name is an E.
M-A-E. Yeah, that's
opposed to a Y,
yeah.
or Amy is spelled A-M-Y, or A-I-M-E-E, or A-M-I-E-E. There's all kinds of ways to spell things, and it's just people's way, I think, of
trying to have some
differentiate their child from the other Amy, Emily, May,
right,
Sarah.
Don't name your kid Amy. Jennifer.
Susan, whatever like the generic name of the time is.
All right. Next one.
Chores. And it just says chores.
Yeah, we never had an issue with, actually going back to that, we never had an issue with names as far as spelling goes. We never had an argument about
we didn't,
that.
but there was
argument about names.
We didn't argue about names, but we had to defend our names to your family.
What? Oh.
On a regular basis.
We didn't have to defend it. We had to we had
to defend it.
No, because defending it means like you felt like you were under attack.
We were.
I was not.
Yes, we were. Yes.
No, I came with names. Okay, well,
every
first of all,
time.
I named it for my dad.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
when we named Adelaide, they acted like we had named her a made up word.
Because they hadn't heard it before.
That's not my problem.
Nobody said it was your problem. I'm just saying
But they acted like we'd named her a made up word, and they were insulted that we didn't just name her after one of them again. Every time. My
mom wasn't.
Every time we named a child.
My mom wasn't.
No, your mom wasn't.
No, my mom was never like.
Because your mom was sweet.
Yeah, she was.
But every time we named a child and we didn't name them some iteration of their name, they got annoyed.
Well, you keep saying they. I feel like you're talking about one person.
I am talking about one person. Sometimes it was two. But it wasn't your mom.
It's my brother.
Yeah.
Wait, he never wanted anybody named after him.
No, but he was annoyed that we didn't name them after your parents. Or named one of them godparents or whatever else their traditions were that they thought that we needed to do. Yes. Right. That's another dumb argument. Yeah. Family traditions that have no basis in actual tradition and they just think that they need to be carried on because that's how they feel about things.
Tony says my fucking name is Harold. When was that popular?
What? Does he spell it with an AI or does he spell it with
is there a Y in there?
2 L's?
So our buddy Tony, his legal name is Harold. As you guys can see in the comments, Harold Anthony Shake. And
he goes by Tony because there's lots of Harold Anthonys.
I know. Harold Anthony. Are there?
Harold Shakes. Yeah.
What?
He's like the third one.
Oh, you mean in his family? Uh-huh. Oh, I was like, I've never heard that.
Oh, no.
All right.
So chores was
chores? Okay, so is it dumb argument about who does what chore?
I didn't ask for clarification.
It just says chores. It just says chores.
Okay. I should have asked for clarification.
That never really came up for us.
No, not really, because we
handle our stuff.
We're both pretty clean. That's the thing. Is like if one of
I guess I can see that.
If one of us wasn't very clean, or the other person had ideas about what, like if there hadn't been agreed upon, like conversation about like this is what I'll do, this is what you'll do. Maybe that can be an argument that there's assumptions that things will get done, and then there isn't communication about it. Like that, I can see happening and being an argument.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, we've argued a couple times about what actually clean is.
Here's what's funny. I'm still I'm still shocked that there are men out there that expect their wives to do their laundry.
Or their moms.
Wait. Okay, if you're married and your mom is doing your laundry.
If you're not married and your mom is doing your laundry. If you're over 18 and your mom's doing your laundry.
If you're married and your mom is doing your laundry, then there's a whole other set of issues there besides laundry.
Yes.
Right. Okay. But what I mean is, if you're married and you expect your wife, especially if you're newly married, expect your wife to do your laundry, I feel like it's pretty stupid. And
unless she likes to, unless it's like her thing.
No, I said expects.
Yeah.
Not, this is something she's volunteered to do. Like you expect it. You know.
Right.
Yeah, we had like a litany of friends, married friends back in California that the husbands that I wasn't that friendly with, you know, like he would tell me some stories and just like shake my head and laugh. I'm like, those guys still exist?
Like surprise sex stories.
Well, we call that rape.
I know. But when you're married.
Hashtag me too.
Oh, God, we're going to get canceled.
So by who?
I don't know.
What?
And then we have one more because we've been going for an hour.
It's not a real thing anyway.
I know. Can't cancel me. I don't give a fuck. No. I actually only care about the people that I care about. Everybody else, I'm like, you can like me or you don't have to like me.
Well, exactly.
So if I care how you feel about something,
right,
you'll know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
If I don't, you'll know. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad my mom doesn't listen to this.
She will one day. Or somebody will come over and show her.
She won't. She won't listen to it. Because she'll know. She'll be like, no, she's going to say things I don't like to hear. And that's fine. That's fine. All right. Last one.
Yeah.
From our good friend, who shall not be named because he specifically requested that it remain anonymous. Calling the doctor when his partner had pneumonia.
Yeah.
Like literally had pneumonia, was in like dire straits. He called her doctor and she got mad.
Well,
how dare you? Which, yeah.
Okay, so did she refuse?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
We gotta get more details on these.
Well, you could have asked because we both got that.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So she's got pneumonia and he called the doctor.
Her doctor.
I mean, did he call the doctor to tell her that she had pneumonia or that
she was really sick, probably.
Okay.
And she needed medical attention.
Maybe because she was like refusing to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. If you're...
I know. Are you alive?
Yeah. Are you potentially on,
thank your person.
Something serious. Yeah.
It means he really likes you.
Yeah, of course.
He could have just let you die.
About you. Yeah. I do remember one. You're talking about old shit.
Okay, bring it up. Let's go.
And you may actually say, like, I never did that.
I probably did.
I stupidly cut my heel.
Oh, I totally remember this. You were a big fucking baby.
No. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
And here's my proof that I was not a baby.
Okay.
So I wasn't a baby. So I stupidly after I took a shower, right? So I was barefoot.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was just in my PJs, and we had this like recycle tub.
This is a dumb argument.
It was
even stupider.
Well, it was dumb because like what she did. So
it was dumb because you're a fucking idiot.
No. So I used to get really annoyed about
that I wouldn't break every recyclable down to its tiny smallest particle and shove it in there so we could fit 800 things in the recycling as opposed to
trash. I
did take out the trash.
You did not. You were busy.
Dude, shut your fucking mouth. I did take out the trash because you're a liar.
I'm not a liar.
Oh, you can't tell the truth to save your life.
First of all, I haven't even told anything yet. I said I took a shower and then you just went off.
Trash because this experience was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I've never seen a grown man fall to the ground like he'd been shot. Okay. Actually, I have twice. It was your brother. That's
not what happened, actually. Because again,
it is what happened.
No, because this is what the issue was. So let me tell a story. So I was barefoot. I was in my PJs, just took a shower, and then we had this kind of like an office trash can that was like a recycle, like a small one, and it was all packed up. And I saw a bunch of cardboard from like cereal boxes and stuff. So I just stepped
stupidly
on it,
like a total dumbass, put his bare foot in a recycling can where we routinely ate tuna fish in our house.
I sliced my heel open on the
lid of a tuna can.
Right. Okay. So
stupid.
Sliced it open. Idiots. I did not know I felt like I just hit my foot on something. You said you're bleeding. I said no, I'm not. And
but it's not what happened.
Stop. No. Here's how I know why, because I'm writing this one. Let me finish the story. So I go, shit. So I sit down and I'm trying to clean my foot off. And I ask you, when I realize how deep the cut is, I asked you to go to the garage and grab the duct tape. Okay. You refused and said, no, you need to go to the hospital and get stitches. I said, I don't need stitches. Just go get me the duct tape.
You didn't need stitches.
No, I didn't. Did I get stitches? No. Did it heal up perfectly fine? Yes.
Do you have heels that crack and bleed all the damn time?
No. Well,
yes, you do.
This has to do with a cut. That's just dry skin.
You needed stitches on that cut.
See, you're redirecting, which is what people typically do when they're guilty. So
not redirecting because you're lying about the story. You're not telling it true.
Let me finish. Okay. So, and this is why everybody's like, what the fuck does that have to do with this other story? I'm gonna tell you guys.
He's a little bitch.
All right. No. Again. The story is
he's a little bitch.
I get a call from my dad on my cell phone. No, my dad called me.
That's not what happened.
This is exactly what happened. Let me finish. My dad called me, said, hey, why are you being a dumbass? I go, what? I had no idea what he was talking about. He goes, why don't you go to the hospital and get stitches? I'm like, and I look at you. I'm like, did you call my dad?
I called my dad, not your dad.
Okay, well, somebody called my dad.
Your brother called your dad.
Okay, well, I don't know how my brother knew.
Because he was there.
What was he?
He was there or Saba was there. One of the two was there. And they saw you fall to your ass.
Either way, somebody called my dad.
I did not call your dad.
I didn't fall on my ass. I sat down because I was bleeding.
Fell in your ass.
Okay, you know me. I'm not a little bitch. Like, be honest here. I'm not a bitch. I'm not a bitch at all. First of all, if I was, you would still not be married to me, knowing you.
We have children. I have no choice.
No, that's not true. If I was a bitch, for the sake of our children, you'd leave. So, no. So that's what happened with that story.
That's not what happened, but that's cool. Remember, you have CTE. You don't remember things.
I remember that one. No, specifically. I remember my dad. I remember the confusion. Going like, why is my dad calling
No memory that Alex has is as straightforward as that ever, because he misses big giant chunks because he's had 5 recorded concussions. 5.
All right, so what do you think about this? Go back to the original one.
I think that
Tony says he's also sliced his foot that way. So I am in good company.
I don't know about that. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, maybe he's just saying that because he wants you to feel like you're supported.
I am supported.
By him and nobody else.
All right. Was that the last one? Or was there one more?
That was it.
That was it?
Those are all of them.
All right. Well, that's our show.
Sorry. I was going to not swear as much on this one, but I just
Liar.
said, no, I was working really hard not to. Yeah. I remember how I said effing in the beginning instead of just the word. Don't. Yeah. I was trying to be better.
Oh, that's funny.
But talking to you always makes things worse. So there's that.
To be true. I mean, to be honest, half of what I'm doing here is just having fun and trying to get a rile out of you. So
cool. Next time I won't respond. It'll be a really boring episode.
That's good. Next episode.
Okay, I can put out.
Pull it out. Let's throw this out there now because
and then we can put it on
this will be up there and then we'll throw it on
Instagram.
socials for next week. Okay. What's our question? Because we came up with like 20 of them, didn't we?
Just 10.
10?
We had 1 and 2. Biggest fight in a relationship. Dumbest fight in a relationship.
Okay, something different now.
Deepest wish you have not shared with your partner.
Oh, that's a juicy one. Okay.
Current partner.
All right. So, deepest wish you have not shared with your current partner, former partner, significant other.
And it can be for anything.
We'll keep it anonymous unless you guys don't want
it will be anonymous unless you say that
unless
we can
you
say
want
your
us to
name.
share it.
Like Tony.
You want them to hear it for the first time on
like
the show.
Tony. But we will keep them anonymous because these are we've got 2 more down. We have in-law horror stories and nobody needs that in their life. And then we've got,
I feel like we're going to get a lot of those.
And then secret you've never told your partner is a couple more down after that. So
I feel like,
no, deepest wish and secret.
Those are 2 different things.
They're 2 different things.
For sure, they're 2 different things.
So,
okay, so let's clarify. Deepest wish can't be biggest secret.
Yeah, it
because
can't be
it's not a secret.
It can't be a secret.
Secret has to be like something you've done or something you're
that you
aware of.
haven't told.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Right. So a wish, something that you want, and it doesn't have to be all about sex. It can be, like travel or like you want another kid or you want children and you haven't told your partner, like things like that.
Okay. All right. So for the next one, you guys throw the questions our way. The comments. Biggest wish that you had that you've not shared with your partner.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, I'm sorry, everybody.
What are you sorry for?
Just can't.
That was fun.
Help it.
All right. Till next time.
All right. Bye.
Later.
It'd be good to be wholesome at some point. But...
That's funny. So we had a fair amount of people jump in and out on that, and that's pretty good considering it was like a last minute thing. Yeah. Okay, let me download this. Download. Cool. All right. Oh. It's gonna be a busy next 3 days. Yeah.